Bobbi. Before everything was reachable, Bobbi came from a family that understood appearances. Not wealth exactly, not the kind that announces itself, but the kind that knows how to behave. In rooms where money is present. Her marriage was never a surprise. It met expectations. It kept things intact. He did well for himself. Not spectacularly, respectably. Enough that when he passed, Bobbi didn't need to worry about what came next. She never remarried. Not because she couldn't. She could have. She had the looks, the polish, the social permission. But by the time the world changed, she had already stepped out of it. Back then, when Bobbi was active, working real estate, moving through dinners and listings and quiet conversations, life was smaller. Not emotionally, geographically. If someone wanted to reach you, they had to know where you were. They called your house, your office. Sometimes they reached someone else instead. Sometimes they didn't reach you at all. Silence wasn't a message. It was just how time worked. Dating happened where you lived, at the town bar, at charity events, through friends, through work. If someone disappeared, you didn't wonder what they were doing. You wondered if they were home. Bobbi learned early that access was power, not information. Access. Who could reach whom, who waited, who didn't. Now she watches her adult daughters move through a world where nothing waits. Everyone is reachable. Everyone leaves a record. Nothing stays local. Silence means something else now. Bobbi doesn't judge it. She just notices. She remembers a time when desire had to pass through rooms, when reputation traveled faster than truth. When control felt possible simply because the world moved slower, she thought restraint would protect her. She isn't sure anymore.
Bobbi learned early that composure was a form of currency. You didn't react first. You didn't explain yourself. You didn't show confusion in public. You waited until you understood the room. Composure kept doors open. It made people comfortable trusting you with things they didn't want repeated. It signaled reliability, even when you were uncertain. Bobbi was praised for it. She handles things well. She doesn't make scenes. She's strong. What no one said was that composure also made her easy to overlook. Needs expressed quietly are easy to postpone. Pain managed privately rarely interrupts anyone else's plans. Bobbi learned to solve her own problems because it was expected of her, and then it was assumed she didn't have any. When her husband died, people admired how well she held herself together. They mistook survival for ease. The world rewarded her restraint so consistently that she never questioned the cost of it. Not then. Only later, watching her daughters navigate a louder world, did Bobbi begin to wonder if composure had protected her or trained everyone else not to look too closely. She still knows how to stay calm in any room. She just isn't sure anymore who that calm was really for.
People opened up to Bobbi without meaning to. Something in the way she listened, warm, feminine, steady, made people feel seen, safe, as if she were absorbing their words through her skin, not her ears. She noticed everything. The half-second pause before a confession. The softening in someone's voice when they wanted approval. The way a person's eyes flicked away when they weren't telling the truth. Her awareness lived in her body first. A tightening low in her stomach, a subtle shift in her breath, long before her mind named what she was sensing. Bobbi never knew what was going on at the beginning. She just felt it. And once she felt it, she couldn't unfeel it. That was when everything changed. She could sit through an entire dinner acting unaware, smiling, refilling glasses, asking thoughtful questions. And then, when the tone shifted even slightly, she would tighten. Not visibly. Internally, Bobbi gave easily. Money, time, access, introductions, space in her home. A place at the table. She liked being the one who provided, but her giving was never loose. It was structured. She didn't announce the terms up front. That would have sounded crude. Instead, she made sure people understood them over time. I've done so much for you. I've always been there. After everything I've given. The generosity carried weight. It wasn't a gift. It was positioning. Bobbi needed people to remember what she had done. Not out of insecurity, she would have called it fairness. Reciprocity mattered to her. What she struggled with was the idea that someone might accept her help and still disagree with her. That someone could take the gift and reject the control. When she didn't get her way, the accounting began. She would recount sacrifices, remind them of favors, revisit moments of support with precision. She wasn't yelling, she was collecting. Bobbi didn't understand why people grew distant afterward. She truly didn't. In her mind, she had helped, she had shown up, she had invested. How could someone be upset with her? How could they ignore everything she had provided? What she couldn't see was the condition underneath it. Her generosity came with alignment. Her support came with expectation. Her help came with loyalty clauses no one agreed to but everyone felt. If someone chose differently than she advised, especially her daughters, it felt like betrayal. Not because they hurt her, because they broke contract. Bobbi never thought of love as transactional. But she organized it like one. And when the returns didn't come in on schedule, she didn't see control. She saw ingratitude.